Okay. Now, this one is for all ages. I have to be very, very careful. Sorry about that. I didn't want to shoo you. So we're back to one person, one like. Let me know you're there, because I can't see you, but you can see me. Yeah. I guess I'm being courteous. And so do I still have a person watching? I apologize for the delay. There's a delay involved, even though I'm hooked up. Oh, I got to turn on the chat feature. There we go. Here. So you're 15, right? You were saying you're 15 years old and you just got out of school? Because some of my channel is for everybody. I'm just trying to... Yep! Okay. So you said you were... where did you say you were from? I'm trying to remember where everyone's from. Because I get people from all over. All over. Oh, cool. It's been a while since I've done those. That is kind of fun. I got to get some more clay and some more time. Yeah. I've also got some regular cartoons that I've done. I put some on... Oh, on my community page, I have some video of people being struck by lightning. Just to heighten awareness about lightning and the dangers of lightning. Don't stand next to a tree during a lightning storm. And if your hair starts to stand up, then don't be out where lightning can strike you. Another one I have on my community page is a cat saved a dog from a coyote attack. What's up? Yo, what's up? Jojo, are you a new subscriber? I noticed I got some new subscribers today. I got some yesterday too. I guess I'm doing pretty well getting the word out there, finding people to talk with. Okay, well, welcome. You probably clicked on one of my jokes or one of my shorts. I have hundreds of shorts that people haven't even seen yet. So somebody might binge watch one of these days. So I got 3 people. Welcome. Welcome to Eddie's Funhouse. That's what we do here. We have fun. It's low budget fun, but fun nonetheless. I like those emojis. Emojis say so much. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Try to get me into the center of the photograph here. There. So everyone's doing well today, I hope. My brother found out that he's sick. You got to figure out why he's sick. He doesn't have COVID. He doesn't have strep. So hopefully he doesn't have pneumonia. So I've been praying for him that he'll get better. So we bopped down to one person. I guess I'm finished with my snacks. I'm all snacked out. I thought I'd be able to finish this. Let's see. Close the lid on the snacks. There we go. Maybe I'll have some tomorrow. I guess there is only one person. I saw 3 for a minute there. Thank you for the 2 likes. Don't forget to leave a like if you pop in. I just found out Mel Blanc Mel Blanc is the guy who does the voice of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. He does all those voices. One guy does all those voices. Where are we at? Where am I at? I guess I'm in Georgia, in the U.S., the United States. I sometimes get people visiting me from the UK and from the Netherlands. I think it's pronounced Netherlands. Netherlands and Denmark. There's one guy that pops in from Denmark. He's into Formula One racing. Maybe I'll hear from him today. How are you liking the show so far? Is it everything you hoped it would be? I try to have my Yahoo button ready so I can entertain. And I play with my jaw harp. I guess a lot of YouTubers are learning about these streams, what to do during a stream. I just watched the sun change positions in the sky. That's how light is, or this is all natural light from the window until I turn on the overhead light. So right now it looks like I'm in the shade. This is Eddie's Fun House. I hope you're having fun. And I do get the occasional phone call that I try not to interrupt. Linarish. Linarish? Am I saying that right? Linarish? It's in such tiny print. I've got to squint to see that little print. That rhymes. I got to squint to see that little print. That sounds better. It's Eddie's Fun House. It's Eddie's Fun House. I guess that's picking up all right. So we're 9 minutes into this show. All those phone calls. They're making me angry. When Dr. Evil gets angry, Mr. Bigglesworth gets upset. That makes me angry. True. True dat. So I guess you are, one person here is 15. How old is Joe? Or I think his name's Joe. Hold on. Yeah, Jojo. Are you also a juvenile? We got some juveniles in the hizzy. Oh, you're 22. Okay. So you qualify if you're 22 years old. I just have to watch it with the people under 18 because there's stuff I'm advertising that little kids can't know about or shouldn't know about. Advertising. Selling product. This is kind of like a platform. This is also my online billboard. So cool. I need to set up a time where only adults can be on, and then have another time when only kids can be on. But like right now, that person just got off school or finished school today. A majority of my crowd is over 18. But every once in a while I get a kid, and I can tell they're a kid. So today is Wednesday. I remember that when I was in school, Wednesday was an early day, which was kind of nice, you know. You get to go home early. You don't have to spend the whole day in school. That was always quite liberating when you didn't have to spend the whole day in school. And then there was the last day of school, right before summer break. They called it field day. Field day was kind of fun. Normally the adult version is a lot more interesting because I don't have to watch what I'm saying and you don't have to watch what you're saying because we'll all be adults. I guess that's why I'm doing this, because some of my audience are children. True dat. You don't want to mix them all together. I guess that's one thing that stands out, that video of that guy who was struck 2 times. He was struck twice by lightning. He was just walking down the sidewalk one night, and he was struck, and it knocked him to the ground, and then he got back up, and he started walking again, and another bolt of lightning hit him. That guy should play the lottery. They say your chances of being struck by lightning, or your chances of winning the lottery, are something like that. It's a toss-up between the lottery and a lightning strike. They say if you're in your car, the lightning can't get you. I'm wondering if that's a myth. If you're in your car, a bolt of lightning can't harm you because you're up off the ground. And rubber isn't a conductor. If you put on rubber gloves, you won't get shocked. Or if you're up off the ground, they say if you're levitated, you won't be struck by electricity or lightning. Because you have to ground it. I remember working with electricity. I was grounded. My hand was touching the ground while I touched a wire, and I could feel the electricity go through my body and into the ground. I've been shocked a few times, and I've had to sit down for a little while. That was before my heart condition. They say stun guns are dangerous. For any professions? What are you referring to? My profession? I guess I'm a professional online salesperson. I'm trying to sell things online. That's what I do for my profession. I have some links in the description if you care to check them out. There's some pretty good. There's a free tactical pen in one of the descriptions. You just pay shipping and handling, or shipping. I think the tactical pen, I have a tactical pen. If I can dig it out of here. Yeah. These come in really handy. These are self-defense weapons. It's a functioning pin. It's a pin that you can write with, and also it's a weapon. The one you'll get is, it has a glass breaker or a window breaker built in. This one doesn't have the window breaker. There's a lot of cool stuff, like how you can advertise with one of the links. It's called Get You Some Views. Is that the question you asked? Was it what my profession? That sounds like a question a 22-year-old would ask. Or am I being professional? Trying to keep my swear words down. Trying to be respectful of others. I just like my bell. It reminds me of a little a show called Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He had a trolley that takes you into the neighborhood of make-believe. Or when you ring for service, they have a bell like this. Some people hate that sound. I had a button that had a crying baby, and a lot of people didn't like that sound. The sound of a crying baby. So is everyone's new year off to a good start? My new year is okay. It could be better. I enjoy collecting. Oh, you're doing good? All right. I've got collections. I collect cutlery, like knives and weapons. And one thing I'm passionate about is starting a really good stream. This is one of my passions right here. A really nice stream. One where everybody can just ask questions and I can get to know other people. I've been learning a lot about other countries just by having this stream. Also art. I like art a lot. I have some videos that I've made with claymation and with animation. If you go to my channel, you'll see a dragon. That dragon I drew and made a cartoon of. That's one thing I'd like to... Oh, you're back. Okay. Well, cool. So now we're getting a party together. We're getting a group. So yeah, that's what my passions. I always like to entertain. Just talk about things. This is a good way to do it, you know. I don't have to travel anywhere. I just turn on the stream and it's here and now, real time. I'll have to start doing show and tell again. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's fun because you think you know until someone else shares something with you. Like all the paranormal activity, all the ghost stories that I hear. Some I've experienced. So a big cameraman. Looks like something was buffering there. I know that all of you can see the same chats. Mine is mostly self-discovery. Because you have to fix yourself from the inside out, you know. Trying to look for answers outside of yourself. You probably won't always find answers. The only one that can change your life is you. Oh wow, what's happening? They're all buffering now. Something's wrong with the feature. People can't just put their chats up. I don't know what's going on. Let's see. Yeah, the chat feature's working. Oh, an emoji. Okay. I guess the emojis take a little longer. The text is pretty fast. So is that how you found out about this this channel? Was the joke that you clicked on? A lot of them are pretty random. How the jokes come up. I see a lot of different shorts. That's how I found out about channels. Oh, there we go. There's the emojis. Laugh out loud. My brother uses that a lot. LOL. LMAO means laugh my ass off. GTG is gotta go. And IDK means I don't know. I'm just learning a lot of them. People are talking in acronyms now. It's buffering the emoji. I know it takes a little while for it to pop up for some reason. I wonder why that is. I wonder why we're probably getting some interference. Maybe some solar flares. I guess solar flares are pretty dangerous. I've heard they can wreak a lot of havoc. Also, electromagnetic pulses. That can really fry circuitry. And then there's EVPs. Those are the electronic voice phenomenon. There was a guy. Yeah, I noticed that. It seems to take more effort to do an emoji. So we can probably stick to the texting. The texting is a lot faster. So I guess huge snakes really do exist. I've seen video of snakes that are big enough to swallow a cow, or at least a baby cow. Snakes are pretty awesome. Sometimes they wait up in trees, sometimes they sit on the ground. And then there's mongooses. Mongooses? I guess that's how you say it. One mongoose, many mongooses. Mongooses, if they're bitten by a snake, they just go to sleep. And then they wake up and they're okay. I guess they're getting faster. I saw a few emojis just now. Emojis in real time. I think I'm getting my fill of potassium. I'm not getting muscle cramps anymore. They say if you get cramps, you should eat a banana. But then I hear there's not a lot of potassium in a banana. I think everybody's trying to get me to join some kind of an insurance policy. So what about you? What are your passions? What do you do? What are things that, do you collect anything? Yes, to become wealthy. I've been poor most of my life, and I've always wanted to know what it was like to be wealthy. Wealthy, just monetary wealth. Be able to never have to worry about money again. And also to be able to affect people in a positive way. You know, if I can make somebody laugh, if I can make somebody feel better, or help somebody out, that seems to be one of my biggest passions, you know. Those are good questions. Let me see if I can read more of it. Let me see. Oh, one of my goals is my online business. I want my online business to grow so I can have a steady income. One that I can count on, you know. and then start donating. That's what I want to do. One of my goals is to help the Red Cross, help Red Cross and St. Jude's, and Fisher House. Fisher Houses, they help vets, and yeah, just to make the world a better place. Because sometimes people are already doing something, like uh, the Red Cross is already doing something, and if I could give money to them to help them do what they're already doing, you know, you're actually improving on something. Some people like to start on a goal from scratch, start up their own idea and do something that improves life. And also own my own home. That's another goal. I never owned my own home. My brothers are both home owners. And that's why I've always been trying to get an online business going. I just need customers, lots of customers. Because right now I'm just putting it out there. Hold on. Gotta wait. Any advice that I could give is don't take any credit. If you're going to get a car, save up for your car. Save up, get a job that's close to you so you can ride a bicycle or take a bus. And then, because you pay a lot less. You pay a lot less for your car if you save up for it. And just don't take life seriously. That's one thing that's really destroyed me, is taking life really serious. Because sometimes there's a lot of things that are very imperfect in life. And, oh yeah, because you wind up paying a lot more for a car or anything. You wind up paying a lot more for it if you get credit, because then there's the interest. You got to pay the interest on the loan. And then it takes you a long time to pay off the loan. And the loan is, it ties up your money. If you're working a 9-to-5 job, most of your money is already tied up. Sometimes I suggest renting an apartment. If you need a place to live, rent an apartment. Because if the hot water heater breaks down, or if the toilet doesn't work, they're responsible for replacing the hot water heater. They're responsible for getting the toilet working, or the heater. If your heater breaks down, it's if you can afford rent, sometimes you get off easy that way. You just report something that's broken down in your apartment, and they're supposed to fix it for you because they're the landlord. And don't let anybody move into your house. We had that problem one time. We had to evict a person from our house. We didn't know that. We couldn't just tell the guy to leave. If you let somebody move into your house, you were talking about experience, so we experienced that. We let a guy move into our house, and because we wanted to help him out, and he just turned out to be the opposite of what we expected, and we wanted him to leave, but we had to go through legal action to get him out. Oh, the father. I think I recognize you. Gerflungus? Yeah. So, I think that's what it is. Don't take life too seriously. And pay for everything with cash. Because the experiences I've had, I had to pay off a car, and it took a long time to pay off that car. Greetings, and Gerflungus. Gerflungus is a code word we use. A code word. No matter where you say it, you know that you'll be heard. Have you heard that song? It was, what's the word up? You can hear it, you can watch that on YouTube. It's called Word Up, I think is the name of the song. The guy who was in Star Trek Next Generation, he's in that movie. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. What other knowledge? Never give up, because sometimes life can be daunting after a while. You feel like giving up, and when you feel like giving up, don't. That's advice I can give, because there's times where I feel like giving up because I don't see the results I want to see right away, and I start getting discouraged. So I guess that's what it is, when you get... Here's the thing. I think the illusion is that you get to make decisions. The illusion is that you get to have a choice. Because sometimes I've tried so hard to improve my life in some way, but then there's just destiny. They call it destiny or fate. Fate steers you in a different direction. Because there's been so many times where I've tried to do things to make myself better off. And then there's, like some people spend a lot of time in college. They spend a lot of time in school to learn a trade. And then they wind up being a guy who just bags groceries, or a guy who works in the paint department. They have a degree in journalism. Or like me, I went to college for investigating. I learned about investigation techniques or investigative techniques, and I wound up being a maintenance guy. I wound up just fixing things in apartments, in apartment buildings. And it was so not what I thought I'd be doing. Like right now, I'm unemployed, and that's why I'm trying to get my my online businesses. Each one of those links in the description is an online business that I'm trying to promote, and I'm hoping that that's one of my goals, is to start making money off of those websites. So I think that's my pivotal thing, Let me see if I read that right. I kind of... What shaped me today was not worrying. I still worry a lot. And worrying, it's a waste of energy. And it also brings about fear. I've noticed I'll feel fear because of things I'm worried about. Like not being able to pay for medications that I need, because I'm struggling with how to pay for my insurance premium. My insurance premium went up quite a bit, and I'm struggling because my brother's having to help me make the payments, and it's humiliating, because working isn't the same. I can't, because after I had open heart surgery, working isn't the same. I used to be able to just power through work all the time, and that was my answer, to get a job, start working, and keep working. And for as long, as long as I could. But now my heart doesn't work as well, so it's like... So anyways, that's stuff that's pivotal. I think that's one big decision is to keep going. I think Winston Churchill, he said, if you're going through hell, keep going. And also the things that seek you, the things I seek me. That's how that phrase goes. The things I seek me. And that's what I'm hoping, is the things I seek will seek me. Like I'm seeking customers, and I'm hoping that I'll find a lot of customers, because that'll keep me, because you're always doing something in exchange for something, So some people, like street performers, they're out there dancing, they're playing an instrument, and then people give them money. And it's like, in San Francisco, I used to see a lot of that. When I went to San Francisco, there were a lot of street performers, guys who stand like statues, until somebody puts money in their hat or in their bucket, and then they start moving around, or they'll sing a song, you know, after somebody's put something in their bucket. And I'm just waiting for somebody to put something in my bucket, you know, and then make that a career. A lot of people are doing that, you know. They're making money online. And there's a lot of jokers out there that say, "Oh yeah, you can make money online. You know, just invest this money." But a lot of times you don't have to invest anything. You just have to get people to come to your site, and then you get a commission. You know, a percentage of whatever sells. Sometimes when you're in, hold on, that disappeared too fast. Okay. A lot of it's hard work. That's one thing I think in my family. A lot of it's diligence, just plain diligence. If you ever remember Tim Curry, he was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He played Frankenfurter, and he was saying the main thing is to show up. You know, the three ups is show up, keep up, and shut up. You know, and I've learned that. You know, if you really are diligent, sometimes it will pay off. You know, if you attend work all the time, and be your best self. You know, try not to get sick very much. Try not to get drunk very much. Try not to be coked out of your head. Because sometimes I see that when I watch other people, they destroy their lives. They make bad decisions, and it really determines the outcome of their life. And I think that's what it is. Passed down is keep yourself out of trouble, keep yourself employed, and sorry, somebody's trying to call me again and again. So I hope I'm doing well with these answers. Sometimes when my mind kind of scatters, because yeah, these are very good questions. Because that's one thing, and also don't lie to people. You know, if people will count on you if you tell the truth all the time, if you tell the truth and if you pay back what you owe. Because like for instance, me, I was debt free. I had no debts until I started having health issues. You know, and that's something I had no choice of. I didn't have a choice to have health issues, and that's when my debt started piling up. Was because insurance either doesn't cover your health issue, and they should. You know, an insurance company should be paying for any health issues you have. But like medication, you know, health insurance doesn't cover all of your medication, and some of those medications I'm on are really expensive. $300 for some of the medications that I'm on, and that's all prescribed by a doctor. And it's like the doctor doesn't know your financial situation. The doctor doesn't know whether you can work or not, or care whether you can work or not. He just prescribes you those pills, and you're supposed to take these pills regularly. True. Am I making sense? This is supposed to be a show that uplifts, and I'm getting down on stuff. You know, I'm on my soapbox. But I think once you handle a situation, you know, the thing that bothers you the most, get those taken care of first. And then your list of priorities, you know. Sometimes that determines your outcome too, your list of priorities, you know. You really have to sort out your priorities. You know, like Ron Weasley said. Yeah. So, I think maybe in a few days, maybe next month, I'll have all this stuff figured out. Because at first I was just asking for donations, you know. Your donations will help this channel continue. you know. And but now I'm doing business, you know. It's better to have a product, you know, because a lot of people who are very wealthy, they have merchandise. They have sweaters, and they have shirts, and they have perfumes. They have belts and shoes, you know, something in exchange for that money. That's what I want to do. I don't want to just have donations. I want to, like this one, I can't, that's what I don't like about having um, a non-adult, because the one I was doing before this one was adults only. And I'll have to do that. I'll have to make a decision. Say, okay, if you're a kid, you can't be on this video, you know, because then I could talk about these. There's some links in the description that are not adult oriented, so I think I'm safe talking about that. But I think that's what it is. I've always been an entrepreneur. When you're an entrepreneur, you have to dream a lot, and sometimes dreaming doesn't get you as far as you'd like to be. As long as you have people dreaming with you, you know. Like my dream is to have a product people like, or many products people like, and then once they buy them, you know, I'll be better off, they'll be better off because they'll have something they're looking for. And because some of my product is like getting views, you know. That one link in my description that says get you some views. You pay $20 one time and you can promote a link, you know. Your link might be your YouTube channel, or it might be a video you made. And what's cool about it is you can change that link anytime you want to. So if you make a new video, you can just give the agent your new link and just keep promoting your new channels, or not new channels, your new videos. Sometimes you make a video you're really proud of, but it's hard to get it out there, you know. So I hope I'm not talking too much. I can talk a lot, and I wonder if I'm putting people off sometimes. So, wow, we've kept 3 people. That's quite a feat for me. Normally I just chat with one person. So, I hope you like what you see. Wasn't that Bill Moseley's character? That, who was that guy? Otis. You ever watch House of a Thousand Corpses? Otis, Otis. One of the things he would always say was, I hope you like what you see. I hope you like what you see. Or Dog Will Hunt. That was in a... The most... Looking back on your life, what accomplishment are you most proud of? I think my self-improvement, you know, looking at who I am and making changes. What was funny was that Michael Jackson song, the man in the mirror. That I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. That one. It meant a lot. I was listening to the words of that song, and that kind of defines me. You know, I'm looking at that guy in the mirror, and I'm realizing that I can be better. And I think that's one of my biggest accomplishments is not being that old person anymore. That guy that that did some things that were not right. You know, you either do the best you can to correct your mistakes, or sometimes you just have to forgive yourself. You can't really correct some mistakes, but you can forgive yourself. And I think that's what stops people with their walk with God. You know, when they're walking with God, they haven't forgiven themselves, so they think God hasn't forgiven them. And that's why I think that's very important to forgive yourself. Once you forgive yourself, then God is much more merciful than you are, you know. So you think, what's something you just can't forgive? You know, what's something you have a hard time forgiving? You think of that and you realize that God can forgive um, a lot easier, you know, and sometimes you have to look at yourself as another person. A lot of times we'll forgive other people a lot quicker than we'll forgive ourselves. And then sometimes we think that we're not forgiven because we haven't forgiven ourselves, if that makes sense. So yeah, changing myself, you know, always realize that it's got to start from the inside out. You look around you and you see all the problems around you, and uh, it's a futile attempt. You know, I think Napoleon Bonaparte, he was saying the hardest one he had to master was himself. He could never seem to master himself. You know, and you ever heard of The Art of War? There's a book by Sun Tzu, The Art of War, and he talks about knowing yourself. If you know yourself and you know your enemy, you'll win 1,000 battles, you know, or something like that. So you'll win a lot of battles if you know yourself. And if you realize, hey, I got to change something, or I've got to do more of something, you know. I know I get these really long answers. I don't know. Maybe I'm too self-conscious. So hopefully I'm doing okay. I've never had somebody ask this many questions. I like that because it makes me think, and I like people who make me think. You know, because you look at the value of yourself. Some people see more value in you than you see in yourself. I was talking to one of my friends a couple of days ago, and I was trying to encourage him. You know, it's like, wow, you're more valuable than you think you are. You think your advice isn't worth much, but sometimes you could change a life. You could change a life by giving advice. You know, somebody might not do something that they would have originally set out to do. Because a lot of times our programming is to hurt ourselves. You know, we're programmed to hurt ourselves. You know, like in Japan, they have seppuku, you know, harakiri, um, ways of killing yourself, you know, and, oh, hi, Hunter. I got one of my original gangsters, yeah. I'm talking to a newer subscriber, and I'm hoping that I'm worth listening to. I think I am. So, yeah, this has been a nice experience. And we're not even an hour into the show. Normally I sit here for 2 hours and get barely anything done. So, I think it's good to include everybody. Not have to chase anybody away because they're not 18. Thumbs up. Well, it's Wednesday. For people in the US, it's Wednesday. In Australia, it's probably Tuesday. No, it's probably Thursday already. I'm on Eastern Standard Time. I have no idea what time it is right now. I'm kind of sitting in the dark here because I have a window to the left of me that's open, letting in natural light. And I notice the sun is shifting in the sky, so I don't get as much sunlight after 3 o'clock. So it's probably after 3 o'clock right now. So we're down to one person. Hopefully I'm not too loud. I get loud sometimes. I don't want to be too loud. People only have 2 ears. I don't need to shout. I don't want to use up their ability to hear or do damage to their hearing. I think I have to speak up because of the microphone. I've noticed sometimes if I talk in a normal tone, the microphone doesn't pick it all up. So how many people are in the hizzy right now? I see a 1 up there. And some generous likes. I see 3 likes. So I think my jokes are doing okay. I've been noticing the analytics are showing that they're getting a lot of views. I'm kind of envious of the ones who have thousands of views. Some of my only have like 30 views. All right, I'll stop talking for a little bit. Oh, we got another like. So how accurate is that? I'm seeing 1 up there. Somebody's hanging on. Hanging on for dear life. Are you hanging on for dear life? How does those words go? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Still here. Jojo is still here. Jojo is 22. Hey, how's it going? Welcome back, Sammy. Oh, wow. So I'll ignore this this button. What is it? I'm not even looking at it. There we go. I can't point at it. It's the number 2. I obviously have more listeners than just 2. I'm enjoying my peach tea. I went to the grocery store today. At the grocery store, they have these little drink packets that you could put in your bottle of water. I'd like to sell those. That'd be kind of cool. Hey, you don't like your bottle of water? Maybe if you put this packet in there, you'll be able to enjoy some tea on a hot, sunny day. I'm not looking forward to this summer. I wonder how hot this summer is going to be. This winter was pretty cold so far. Because we got February, we got March, and then April it's supposed to warm up. So are we having fun, guys? This is Eddie's Fun House. I called it Eddie's Fun House. I guess it's getting darker and darker. Let's see. Maybe if I stand up and put the light on, I won't be sitting in the dark. Oh, stand up. Oh, that's right. The switch is over there. All right. I think it's a little brighter. There we go. We're getting some reflections off the wall. That's what I like about white walls. It'll reflect the sunlight. Maybe I can set up some mirrors in here so I can reflect. What's up, Arthur? Welcome. We're sorting out our values, I guess. That's what our thing is. Our thing now is sorting out our values. Letting that light within burn out, or burn outwardly. Like Jesus said, you can't put a candle under a bush. If you try to put a candle under a bush, it'll burn up, it'll catch the bush on fire. That's what I want to do, catch the bush on fire. Have a burning bush. That's what Moses talked to. He talked to a burning bush. What else? The burning bush. And then Buddha. The Buddha says one candle can light 1,000 candles. And that's what I want to do. I want to light 1,000 candles. I keep going back over these ascended masters. Saint Germain is another one of the, I think one of the ascended masters. He talks about the power of I am, grasping the scepter. Whenever you're faced with a situation, you say, I don't accept this. I do not accept this situation. Whatever we put in front of I am changes our reality. Never say I am sick or I am tired or I am poor. Say I am healthy, wealthy, and wise. Also, I've been learning about what you say to yourself What you say to yourself right before bed leaves a bigger impression on your subconscious. It's crazy that 95% of our actions are subconscious. We got like 5% of what we do is conscious thought, like getting up and riding our bicycle or asking somebody out on a date. The rest of it is just unconscious. Carl Jung, you ever heard of Carl Jung, I think it was? I found out he's from Switzerland. He's a Swiss psychologist or psychiatrist. I always like psychology, studying like Freud, Carl Jung. Another one is Hermes Trismegistus. They say he was an immortal. Also, Saint Germain was also an immortal. During the Victorian era, I think some people have met Saint Germain. They say he's in his 40s and he's never aged. That would be a cool trick to pull off. I never age. I never get sick because I'm immortal. There must be something to that, because I think Moses lived 400 years, or Noah, all those biblical characters. They lived a really long life. Nowadays, I think people reach 70 and 80. You're really pushing it if you're 70 years old. Hermes Trismegistus. He came up with the Hermetic principles. Those are fascinating. The Hermetic principles. One of them is, the first one is the all is mind, the universe is mental. Everything began with a thought. Thought is the ultimate cause. And then the other one was vibration. Everything is in motion. Nothing is at rest. Hermes said that if you master vibration, you master the universe. If you understand all of the 7 principles, you can unlock the key, the universe, the doors of the universe will fly open. I'm going to look for that. It's called the Kabbalion. If you ever look at or listen to the Kabbalion, I'm going to see if I can find that and put it on my community page. I know I had the Kabbalion. It's an audio book. Audiobooks are cool to listen to when you're I guess, folding your laundry or, cooking dinner. Listen to the Kabbalion. That's a funny word to say, Kabbalion. That's right up there with Gerflungus. Gerflungus, Kabbalion. It sounds like a game. After lunch, we're going to play a game of Kabbalion. He's the one who said, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I've been wanting my teacher to appear. Sometimes we teach ourselves. You've heard of self-taught people. Like when I play harmonica, that's mostly self-taught. I just randomly blow on notes. That didn't sound right. So, I got 4 people. How about that? I'm proud of you all for sticking with me for this long. We haven't even cleared an hour yet. It's like 59 minutes. I'm getting scared. Nobody's chatted with me yet. Oh boy. I'm constantly looking for validation. So it's Wednesday. I guess they call Wednesday hump day. The middle of the week. I really like that. You're still here? All right. Well, good. I think I need to use the law of assumption. Instead of getting scared, just assume that people are listening. Assume. They say that's a good thing to have, the law of assumption. Like when you pray for something, just assume that you're going to get it, or assume that your life is going to turn out. That's true. True that. Maybe I'll turn this into a lecture. I'll start doing some lecturing. I think that's the main thing, is to keep a clear head. Sometimes our minds are so cluttered with what the world, there's two different worlds. The world that other people create for us and the world that we create for ourselves. And I realized that the world that's created for us is created by people who hate us. And you can see that every day. You see the hatred every day. When you look at the world that was created for us, then you have to gather up your power and your energy and start creating your own world. Sometimes it's just by your actions, you know. One of the Hermetic principles is cause and effect, you know. A lot of times we have trouble because we're causing things to happen that aren't good for us, you know. We're causing somebody to be upset with us, or we're causing our body to be upset with us, you know, by putting things into it that doesn't belong. So if we could change our causes, you know. Like me, I caused myself to have cavities. I got to have some dental work, lots of dental work now, because I caused some cavities. But then I've heard all the stuff they put in our food. They said the Romans never had cavities because there wasn't any sugar in their diet. They also brushed their teeth with urine, so maybe we'll just consider the source. I've heard stories. Pirates do that too. Pirates use urine to whiten their clothes. I guess urine has a bleach-like factor to it, or a bleaching ability. You see them wearing a nice white shirt because they washed it in the urine. I guess people used to do that. They would collect urine and use it for its intended purpose. I couldn't see myself brushing my teeth with it. History's fun facts. I really wish this was an adult show. I want to talk about some adult stuff. But sometimes you just gotta hold your mouth, bite your tongue. So tomorrow maybe that's what I'll do. I'll have an adult version. Then I can go into the first invention. What was invented before the wheel? The wheel was a pretty good invention. Just taking a wheel, and you can transport large objects or large loads for a great distance. My favorite one was the chariot. Chariots were used in ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, ancient Greece. They used them for... Most of them are 22 and up. I think the youngest one was 19, but I have one that says she's 15, or it says he's... I don't know the gender. One of them among us is 15. So I gotta watch myself. I don't want to be like Jared Fogle. Jared Fogle is a household name for the wrong reason. So I gotta be careful who is listening or watching. I think that's what I'll have to do. Maybe on Saturdays I can make it for everybody. Every other day will be for adults only. So I can say, sorry, if you're under 18, you'll have to wait till Saturday. And then I could have, I could do cartoon voices or something like that. Hey kids, it's Krusty the Clown. Hi kids. My brother does a good Herbert the Pervert. You ever watch him on Family Guy? Hey little boy, come down in my basement for some popsicles. He does it really good with the whistle in his voice. Don't you want to go to the ice cream truck? That's what I've heard ice cream trucks are called. They're called chomobiles. And what are their funny? Yeah, that's what I could do. If you're a kid, join me on Saturdays. That way the adults can have some fun. That is kind of like, yeah. I have to make a choice, I think. I have to say, okay, do I want all adults? I can make that decision. This is only for adults. My channel is only for adults. Because that's what I do for my shorts. I always mark them not for kids. And for some reason, kids still watch them. Kids still comment. I've noticed that some of the comments on my dirty jokes, they're left by kids. It's like, doesn't your mom know? Doesn't your dad know that you're listening to my dirty jokes? It's great to have everybody, but sometimes you just got to make a decision. That's what I could probably do tomorrow morning. Say, listen up, everybody. My show is only for adults. I'm sorry. You'll have to wait until you're 18. That'll give them something to look forward to. It's like, oh boy, I can't wait till I'm 18. So I can listen to Ed's dirty jokes. So I can listen to him talk about the first invention. So, thank you for the likes. I noticed I got 4 of them. That's one of the questions I get asked a lot is, how old am I? People say I look like I'm in my 30s. I don't know. Or my early 40s. But I think they're just trying to compliment me. They're trying to get the better of me. I bet you say that to all the boys. Oh, there's another like. Thank you. Thank you very much for that like. I noticed that. Yeah. One of them in particular joined in. I was having, it was, yeah, they ignore it. That's what happens. Because the one I did before this one, a 15-year-old joined, and I had to stop that. I had to stop that stream and go to this one. This one's for everyone. Because that one person, I guess I'm protected because I do put on there that it's age restricted. So I'm pretty sure they're seeing the age restricted part. So I think that would put me in the free and clear. Because yeah, it says 18 and over. And then you can age restrict it for 18 and older. And if they click through, it's because they're lying. They're not telling the truth about their age. A lot of people do that, and that frustrates me. A lot of people lie about their age to get into the military. Or they lie about their age to get a job. It's like, there's a reason why that's in place, you know? There's a reason why we say 18 and older. So we don't wind up like Jared Fogle. or have to talk to Chris Hansen. It's all fun and games until you're talking to Chris Hansen. Asking him, why don't you have a seat? That was one of my jokes. One of my jokes was, what separates the men from the boys? Chris Hansen. I used to watch a lot of that, To Catch a Predator. Those are the creepiest people. Yeah. Go figure. What a tangled web we weave. I know, yeah, because I realized that when I was around 16, I had a summer job. I think there's certain restrictions hiring somebody under 18. Because it was a summer job. They called it the Job Training Partnership Act. And it was back in the 80s. I was a janitor. I worked as a janitor, helping them get the school ready for the next year. And sometimes you just got to have a job. And it's like, hopefully you don't get in trouble. Don't want you to get in trouble. Just because, I think if you're, I don't know, I think people make a big deal about age sometimes. If you're qualified for the job, but then they talk about age discrimination, you know, or disabilities. Because I think it was called the Americans with Disabilities Act. And there are certain things that they can't do. They can't discriminate against you if you have a disability. Then there's lots of money involved. If somebody, you can sue, I guess, if somebody discriminates against you because you have a disability. I'm just interested in my future. I wonder how it's going to turn out. What's my future going to be like? Now that my life is half over, I don't know if I'll live to be 100, but I am 55 years old, and wondering how my future is going to turn out. I think I just need to pray about fear. Sometimes fear grips me. Because a lot of people at 55, they're just counting down to retirement. They're just counting down to when they don't have to work anymore, you know, because they got their retirement set up. Yeah, now it's like people sometimes make it to 70 or 75, and then so I guess I got to look forward to my 60s. How quickly my 60s will go by. I remember when I turned 40, it seemed like my 40s were a blur. My 40s just went by so fast. And then now I'm 50. I'm 50 plus now. And I'm half done with my 50s. 55 already. It's like, man. It's like I'm on a skateboard to the grave. I'm skating to the grave. Because they say when you're young, life is a lot slower. Time is a lot slower when you're young. The older you get, the quicker the days go by. I've also noticed, like, if you're near a city, time goes by faster than if you're out in the country. I guess time slows down when you're out, you know, in the suburban areas or the rural areas. I've always wanted to work at an amusement park, you know. Work at Six Flags. Just be a guy who walks around and make sure everybody's having a good time. Hi, welcome to Six Flags. You want me to show you to the Tilt-A-Whirl? Sometimes they have live shows there. I like that. And then the ski lift, or it looks like a ski lift. It's kind of like a bird cage. You sit in the bird cage and it takes you over the Six Flags. I miss Six Flags. I want to go there again. I used to have the money to do that. I used to have the money to go to Six Flags or to Universal Studios. That's really cool. You get to see how movies are made, filming locations. I saw where Psycho was filmed. I guess I'm in the dark again. The sun keeps moving. So are we having fun so far, kids? I think that's what I'll do. I'll say if you're not 18, you'll have to quit watching. Because we need something. I mean, kids have a lot of stuff to do. Kids have so many things to do. I kind of envy kids sometimes. Everyone's catering to their joy. It's like, we should have some liberty. we should be able to put on our hats and talk about things that only adults can talk about. I'd like to thank the 2 people that are hanging on. I guess there's only 2 people hanging on right now. I hope you're having fun. I think it'll be time. Oh, hold it on. I was wearing this yesterday. My Willy Wonka hat. Arthur's here. Okay. So it's Arthur and Sammy. Jojo might still be here. Arthur, Sammy, and Jojo. Sometimes they tell me goodbye. Sometimes they say goodbye before they leave. Sometimes they just pop out. But that's all right. So be sure to watch my my community page. You'll see those guys being struck by lightning. That one poor guy that was struck twice by lightning. It looks like security camera footage. This guy is walking on a sidewalk and he gets hit by lightning, and then he falls to the ground, and he gets back up and takes a walk. The one that's really scary to watch is the one where these guys are standing under a tree. They look like they're getting out of the rain. Oh, I see a 3 up there. And the bolt of lightning strikes and they all fall down. Ashes, ashes, all fall down. So I think we got 2 people from Canada. Who was the, I wonder, Jojo didn't say where he was from. I guess we'll find out later on if he joins us for another episode. I guess I'm doing this all on the fly. I was thinking I was going to have to script some of this. Isn't that scary how quickly it happens? There was this guy standing next to a river one time, and he was trying to do a documentary, I guess, and that bolt of lightning just hit him. He started saying, oh, it burns, or something like that. But he was still standing up. Some people, they get struck. Oh, wow. I remember seeing 2 dead people. Not in the same day, thank God. That's always disturbing, isn't it? Especially after a lightning strike. Because first of all, the lightning strike is traumatic all by itself. And then seeing somebody killed as a result. Yeah. Who's in control of the lightning bolts? Is it Zeus or is it Thor? They both have the power of lightning. There's a lot of interesting stories about Zeus. If you're nice to Zeus, he's nice to you. Oh, it's 16. Sometimes traumatic things when we're younger, you know, they stick with us more. Because it's like our memories are a lot sharper. And the adrenaline, they say adrenaline has a lot to do with how well your memory is recorded. Some people remember a lot of details when they get that adrenaline rush. Also, their strength is increased. Big old adrenaline, and they can lift, yeah, their strength, their sharpness. And then they have to relax. They have to sit down after they've had their adrenaline rush. I remember that. It was like our adrenal glands are located above our kidneys. And when people get an adrenaline rush, they're able to do a lot of superhuman feats. One guy was able to lift a car off of his friend. Sometimes kicking people's butts too. You get a lot of strength all of a sudden to kick ass.
Jupiter time.
My phone is vibrating. I guess it's Jupiter time. One of these days I'm going to get a laptop. That way I can turn off my phone and not have all these interruptions. I've noticed this shows up on a flat screen TV. I can look at these videos on a big flat screen TV. So sometimes you can, if you invite some friends over, you can click on one of these streams. I'm glad I don't have to pull out my puppet. I always thought I was going to have to use my puppet. But then again, that would probably look pretty perverted. A puppet on an adult show. Who's that guy? There was a guy, Jeff Dunham. Jeff Dunham is an adult. He uses puppets. So maybe it's not perverted. I have a puppet that kind of looks like Cookie Monster. It looks like it's made of cotton candy. Who needs a puppet when you're interesting? If you can keep people watching. So has everyone gotten their test scores yet? That seemed to be the topic yesterday. Everyone was talking about their tests. Sometimes you want to keep your scores a secret. Oh yeah. So we got Arthur, we got Sammy. We probably got, oh, B+, that's good. That's a nice solid grade. That'll get you into Harvard. You got a minus. Oh, an A-, okay. Those are some good grades. Congratulations. It's better than a C or a D. So you guys are up there. Oh, cool. So y'all did pretty well. All right. Anything beats a C. That's something you can kind of brag about. If your mom sees a B. Oh, cool. Now, which one was the one that doesn't study or didn't think he had to study? Wasn't it Jackal? Somebody said that, one of them said that they didn't feel. Roger got an A. Okay, so all B's and A's. I'm proud of you guys. I almost feel like a proud father. Oh, cool. So everyone averaged a B. That's cool. That's like the upper end. Goody goody. Now you can all brag. All right, B's and A's. All right. I feel like a proud father. Oh, but the best part. There was a pizza party afterwards. Oh, Hunter. Oh, wow. C, I think, is a passing grade. C is at least passing. But you know what? Is that one of his better interests? Because a lot of times people who aren't interested in a subject, they don't really care about it. Oh, okay. So that was the one. He was the one who said he didn't have to study. Okay. See what happens. So, yeah. Hunter. Yeah. Well, that's a lesson learned, I guess. Sometimes we got to learn a lesson. I guess confidence coupled with studying will pay off. Also, if you group study, everybody can kind of catch things. I think that would help a lot, having like a think tank right before a test. Everybody compare notes, synchronize your notes, and then study. There we go. Everybody synchronize notes. I'm hearing sounds now. The heater just came on. It kind of sounds like an ocean. We got that central heating and air. Sometimes it sounds like a waterfall. Anyway, when you're a maintenance guy, you start to notice sounds, what things sound like, what things aren't supposed to sound like. Well, today is a pretty good day. We got to chat, we got to chill. I have snacks left over for tomorrow. Oh yeah. What makes you think that? How can he cheat? Pay somebody who knows the answers? It's amazing the ways people cheat. Sometimes they'll put the answers on the inside of their sunglasses, or they'll have a note in their hand with all the answers on the, which is the same as looking at your notes, you know. I noticed some teachers let you look at your notes. Yeah, that makes one suspicious. I feel like a sunflower. I keep trying to adjust with the sun. The sun is heading towards the west, and I'm trying to get as much sun so I don't look like I'm having a 3rd degree or a witness protection program. So are you feeling more at ease now that the tests are over? Feeling more like you can relax a bit? Ease off some of that tension? I like to see myself about 1 year from now. How different will things be 1 year from now? There we go. My head looks smaller when I take my hat off. My head just shrunk. I think I need to get a lamp in here. It's not enough to have sun shining in the window. Maybe tomorrow we'll have a good turnout too. Tomorrow will be Thursday, of course. It's getting close to 5 o'clock, I know that. I can tell by the position of the sun. I kind of want to hang a clock in here so I can keep track. I'm a real clock watcher. Watch that clock, kids. It's almost time to go to bed. Almost time for dinner. So my obsessive compulsive is kicking in. I see 4 people. Does anybody study chemistry? I think chemistry's got to be one of the scariest classes, because something can always go wrong with chemicals. Sometimes things can blow up. Sometimes things can melt and become acidic. That's why they have those robes or those coats. Those coats are supposed, I guess they protect you from the chemicals. Having gloves on. Gloves and goggles and all that. That doesn't sound like much. There must have been a lot of questions on those 3 pages. Quite a few questions. There we go. Oh, electricity. Isn't that funny? We were just talking about lightning strikes. That has to do with electricity. They say Benjamin Franklin did a lot of testing with kites to see how electricity behaved. He said he didn't just do it once. Oh, chemicals. Okay. Electricity and chemicals. Those are good to know. I remember diatomaceous earth was a good way to nullify some combustibles. There was a course I was taking about that. Oh, the Earth's surface. Isn't it funny you guys had an earthquake and now you got to test about the Earth's surface? I remember we were having a... Oh, really? During the test? Wow. That was a final earthquake? That's a coincidence. Wow. You're taking a test about the Earth's surface. Oh, yeah? So you were trying to enjoy a game, and then an earthquake struck. I'm glad it didn't do any damage. Earthquakes can be quite devastating. I think there was one in Turkey and one in Japan. I've never been in an earthquake. I think in 1989 there was an earthquake in San Francisco. I think it was 1989. There was a guy who was there when the earthquake hit. He said the ground looked like waves. That's a lot to deal with. You're in your car and there's an earthquake. The ground starts moving. They can do a lot of damage. They can rupture pipes. They can cause foundations to crack. They can cause buildings to go down. Have you heard of pagoda? There's a Japanese building called a pagoda. It's built around a single pole so that when an earthquake strikes, the pole just waves. It doesn't collapse. I thought, wow, that's a neat concept. If you don't want a building to collapse, you build the pagoda around a pole. That was in Game of Death. You ever watch that Bruce Lee movie, Game of Death? The guy had to fight up a pagoda with a couple of his friends. They were all different martial artists. I think the top of the pagoda was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was a pretty big guy. So how's everybody doing? Is everybody doing all right? Feeling happy? This is kind of a fun house, isn't it? We got a fart gun. clown farts. Farts that don't smell. We got our Halloween pumpkin head. Maybe I'll bring that over onto the table. I could show it to you tomorrow. There's supposed to be a light inside of it, but I guess the light's missing. Oh, it's getting brighter now. Not only does the tree or the sun change positions, but there's trees, so it goes behind the trees. That big beautiful sun out there. Hopefully tomorrow's warmer. Today it was like 17 degrees Fahrenheit. Earlier this morning it was. It's probably a little early. That phone, that damn phone. So I guess I can end this one. Tomorrow we'll do this again, and we'll probably have a better time today. Now that all our tests are taken, that you all got passing grades. I'm proud of you. I feel like a proud father. All my boys got good grades. So I guess I'll wait for some goodbyes, and then I'll have to start wrapping it up here. I got to put my pizza in the oven because I always like to be in bed by the time the sun goes down, or at least sleeping, at least laying down. So I guess if you'll be here tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you had a fun time at Eddie's Fun House. You're back? Sammy, when'd you go? I didn't even know you went. I thought you were still here. Did you have to take a bathroom break? Or is that too much? Am I getting too nosy? So there's, who is here today? We've got, oh, your power went out. Okay. That's a good excuse. So we got Sammy. Who else? Arthur. Arthur was here earlier. Sammy and Arthur. And Jojo. There was Sammy, Arthur, and Jojo. And then there's Linarish, or Inarish. I think that's how I say it. So I'm just checking to see who attended today. This is a class on almost nothing, about the Earth's surface, about electricity and chemicals. Maybe you guys can teach me, you know. We can talk about each of the elements, the ones that react violently, the ones that are benign. I think I call that, but there's some elements like gold and lead. Gold, lead, and mercury. All the elements are pure. That's all I know. There's a guy who studied chemistry. He didn't have a periodic table of the elements, so he couldn't teach me much. But he was talking about the difference between the elements and compositions, which I found fascinating. This guy he was like a career student. He had a lot of rings for different classes he took. He was also into history too. He was a pretty interesting guy. He had a lot to know about. He knew a lot about American history, about how the West was won, all the horrors that took place. Everyone left the eastern coast to keep going until they reached the ocean. That whole Lewis and Clark. Go west, young man. Then it was the gold rush. In California, that's where I saw some of the gold rush, some of the locations. People went there, left their families, left their wives and children to go looking for gold, heading into the Sierra Nevadas, doing mining. They all headed in covered wagons. Some pioneers are quite interesting. Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett were some American pioneers. Then there was Bowie, Jim Bowie. Yeah, the Bowie knife. I guess he invented the Bowie knife. David Bowie, he was, that's how he got his name. He was able to throw a Bowie knife really well. Because Davy Jones was his original name. Yeah, Arthur, are you here? Somebody's here. We have a phantom listener. Somebody's going to chime in. Oh, okay. I think I'll give you guys a rest. I'll have to check in with you tomorrow. If I can talk slower, I'll talk better. So thank you all for joining me. It's been a real treat. Bye. You take it easy. We'll talk more.